We've got the dumbbell, octagon shape, so many exercises we're going to be showing you with the dumbbells today. So we're using the dumbbells next, and we're going to show you an exercise called Bicep Curl. It's a fairly simple exercise that really isolates the biceps. We like to use this exercise to oftentimes stabilize the intensity that you're working at. But what you want to do is keep your shoulders pulled back nice and tight. Okay, you're going to keep your elbows right by your side throughout this movement. You'll notice that the hands twist in towards the hips on the way down, and right as the dumbbell passes your hips, you twist your hands so your palm faces up, and that helps you to isolate the bicep on the bicep curl. Keep a soft bend in your knees and keep your core engaged. Try not to lean back. Really keep your torso in the same spot, and that allows you to focus on the bicep. Okay, we're going to use the dumbbells again, and we're going to do an exercise called hammer curls. So with this exercise, we are targeting your biceps and your forearms. You're going to make sure that your shoulders are pulled back here. Your elbow's going to maintain by your side the entire time. You'll also notice that your hands are going to stay facing the same direction the entire time. There's no twisting movement here in your arms. Your palms are going to stay facing each other the entire time. You're going to be exhaling as you curl. Try to find a consistent breathing pattern here, but keep a soft bend in your knees and don't allow your torso to lean back. Keep your core engaged as well. We want to try to avoid allowing pressure going to your lower back, and we really want to just try to isolate the biceps and forearms as much as we can. So we're using the dumbbells again, and we're going to do an exercise called overhead tricep extensions, and we're going to use both hands on one dumbbell. You could go individually, but we're going to demonstrate two hands on one dumbbell. Okay, so first thing you want to do is get it up onto your shoulder. You're going to do that by using your leg, driving your leg up, flipping the dumbbell over, placing the weight on your shoulder and sliding both hands up to grip onto the bottom of the dumbbell like that. Now, from there, you're going to use your hips to boost the dumbbell up over your head. Perfect, because typically you're grabbing a fairly heavy weight here. You want to keep your elbows close together, slight bend in your knees, keep your core engaged. Try to avoid allowing your torso moving back at all. You want to keep it tall. Now you're going to lower that the dumbbell down right behind your head. You want about a 90-degree angle in your elbows. You're going to exhale on the way up, really trying to engage and contract your muscles to right here, the triceps, as best you can. All right, we're using the dumbbells again. This time we're going to use one dumbbell in one hand. It's a single arm tricep extension. So you'll note that Ryan's palm is facing forward. It's going to stay facing forward the entire time. He's going to bend at his elbow here. He wants about a 90-degree angle at the bottom of the range of motion. You can see he's stabilizing his elbow, keeping it pointed up towards the ceiling, not allowing his arm to move around a lot. He's got a slight bend in his knees. He's keeping his core engaged, so it doesn't allow his torso to lean back at all. He wants to keep that pressure out of his spine. Exhaling on the way up, really trying to engage the tricep as much as possible. Okay, we're using the dumbbells again. This time we've got one dumbbell in each hand. We're going to do a shoulder press. Okay, it's an overhead shoulder press. Starting with the dumbbells on your shoulders, you're going to use your hips to boost them up like that. Turn the palms facing forward. And then as you lower the dumbbells down, you're going to want about a 90-degree angle of flexion in your elbow here. You want to try to make sure that you keep a bend in the knees, and you want to make sure that you keep your core engaged so it keeps the pressure out of your lumbar spine. You can touch the dumbbells up together at the top. Try not to bang them together. You want to keep these weights under control the entire time. Exhale on the way up. You're trying to use your shoulders for this exercise and go slow on the way back down. So we have another dumbbell exercise. This is going to be a single arm row. And what you want to do is place the dumbbell in one hand. You're going to take a nice, slightly wider than hip width stance. The first thing you want to do is hinge at the hips, drive your hips back. You're going to extend your other arm out to the side for balance. You want to make sure that you don't allow your torso to twist at all during this exercise. You're keeping a nice flat back. You never want to have the back rounding forward, okay? Notice that the palm is facing right now. And as you row, you're going to keep your elbow close to your body and twist your hand so it's palm facing in on the way up so we can keep that elbow close to the body. The idea is to use the muscles of your upper back here. You're going to exhale as you row. You're going to inhale as you bring the dumbbell back down. And again, you want to keep this movement under control. So you really want to try to make sure that your torso is not twisting or moving around at all. Everything stays under control. All right, so we've got the dumbbells in hand again, one in each hand, and we're gonna do a reverse lunge. So you're just gonna keep your shoulders pulled back, keep your torso tall. The dumbbells are gonna stay out to your side the entire time, just to add a little additional weight to this movement. So first thing you wanna do is reach this leg back as far as you can. You're dropping your rear knee down towards the ground. You wanna make sure though that on this exercise, you're utilizing the front leg as much as possible. So yes, we're gonna alternate legs this time. You could just use one leg if you wanted to. It's up to you. You wanna make sure that you're not allowing that knee to touch the ground and that you've got this body weight here on the front foot so you can really utilize the glutes on the front leg to do a majority of the work. Exhale on the way up and make sure you're keeping your torso nice and tall. All right, so one dumbbell in each hand, and we're gonna do reverse flies, but we gotta make sure that we hinge at the hips and get our body into the right position here first. So what we wanna do is, you can see, shifting your body weight back as you hinge the hips, getting your body weight onto your heels. You should be able to wiggle your toes a little bit, and you wanna make sure that you keep a flat back, no rounding forward. We wanna keep your back safe here, okay? You're gonna bend your elbows a little bit, kinda like you're hugging a barrel, and the palms are going to be facing each other. At this point, you're gonna exhale, and you're gonna use your shoulders here to flare your elbows out wide, continuing to try to maintain that same bend in the elbow. You wanna try to minimize any movement in the torso. Don't allow your torso to twist or move up and down at all. Just try to keep everything under control and really focus on engaging the muscles of your upper back to do this exercise. Okay, we're gonna do a Renegade Row with one dumbbell in each hand. What you wanna do first is get into the push-up position with a nice wide stance in your feet. We're creating a stable base of support here. You wanna try not to allow your hips to rotate at all during this movement. Keep as much stability as you can. And keep your hips high, don't let them sink down low. We don't want any pressure to go to your spine. Lots of core work to do this exercise. The idea is to do this without letting your body shift. So you're gonna, with one hand, you're gonna drive your elbow up towards the ceiling, and you're gonna keep the elbow in close to your body. Bring the dumbbell about up to your chest, okay? Exhale as you row, inhale as you bring it back down, and note the stability here as you bring this elbow up. You really want to try to keep the body from moving, right? Exhale up, inhale on the way down. Okay, so we've got a dumbbell in each hand, and we're gonna do a lateral raise. So what you wanna make sure you're doing is putting a slight bend in your knee here to keep any pressure from loading into your spine. You're gonna keep your shoulders pulled back, chest up nice and tall, and I want you to keep your palms, as you raise your arms laterally, your palms are going to stay facing down the entire time. No twisting of the hands, and you wanna make sure that you elevate your hands only as high as your shoulders. So go ahead and put the slight bend in the elbows, keep the palms facing down. There we go, just up to about shoulder height right there. We wanna try to avoid going any higher than shoulder height because that can be potentially dangerous. You're exhaling on the way up, and you're inhaling on the way back down. Okay, we've got a dumbbell in each hand, and we're gonna do a front raise. We're gonna alternate sides here though, so only one side at a time. You got a slight bend in your knees, you're gonna pull your shoulders back, keeping your torso nice and tall. One hand, notice that the palms are facing the hips right now, but as you raise one hand, you're gonna put a slight bend in your elbow, and your hand is gonna go twisting, palm facing down, okay? We wanna try to raise the arm about the same height as the shoulder, try not to go any higher than that. You're exhaling on the way up, and you're inhaling on the way down, and make sure that you keep this slight bend in the elbow too, okay? Keep the shoulders pulled back the entire time. Try to avoid allowing the shoulders to roll forward. So we're using the dumbbell again. This time it's just one dumbbell. We're gonna do a goblet squat. So we've got to pick it up off the ground and get it into our hands into this position. So you're gonna squat down into a good squat position using your hips to pick it up, and then you can see how you kind of flip it into your grip there, okay? Now, hands are resting kind of against your chest. The dumbbell's gonna stay close to your body the entire time, okay? Now from this position, we've got to take a nice wide stance, and we're gonna externally rotate our feet just a little bit. First thing you wanna do is start by driving your hips back and down, sinking your weight onto your heels, keeping your torso nice and tall, exhaling on the way up. Again, keeping the dumbbell right close to your body, trying to get your body weight to transfer to your heels, and you're using your glutes to drive up out of this position.